Welcome to the Parts Girl podcast, powered by PartsEdge with Kaylee Filio. Conversations that will transform the way we do business. Gain insight into the wins and struggles from automotive professionals.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Parts Girl podcast. I'm super excited to be interviewing Jess Burkhart. Welcome, Jess.
Hi, Kaylee. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is your first podcast, so I'm going to definitely put that on blast so everyone knows.
Yeah, it is, aside from my own.
Yeah, first interview.
Yes.
Yeah, and so just real quick, tell everyone what you do, where you work, give us a little background.
Sure. So my name is Jess, and I work at SCP Agency and Epic BDC. I am the CMO over here, and I have been with the company for right at about 6 years now.
Wow, 6 years?
Yeah.
And I think you have a really cool story to share in the, how it all happened and, the whole 6 years span of everything.
Oh, gosh. Probably so. It's kind of a long one, though. It goes pretty far back.
It's nice.
Yeah. So Cass and I were really good friends. I had recently become a mom of two. So I had a 4-year-old, and then my middle daughter was born. Her name's Kaylee. And when she was born, she was a preemie, and she was in the NICU for quite a while. And so Shasta knew that I was a stay-at-home mom, and just, I wasn't ready to go back to work yet. And they had just started their, what we call our elite response team. And she needed somebody over there to help kind of, just work those customers down the sales funnel and Facebook Messenger and set appointments that way. And so it was an extra income, it was super part-time, but it paid an electric bill to help my husband out because, we were a one-income family at that point. And Kaylee couldn't be left with a babysitter for a long time. So I didn't have a choice but to work from home. And so it all worked out. So I started there and then just gradually moved up from there. In fact, Beverly, who's our CFO, she was a flight attendant at the time, and I didn't even meet her until I was 2 years in. But we had we had heard all about each other, and we had talked on the phone occasionally and stuff like that. But we never met face to face until I was 2 years in.
Wow. That's interesting. I've heard that with some companies where I think it was fixed ops marketing where they didn't even meet each other all after two, because it was during COVID when they launched everything. Yeah. So, wow. So you had a baby and you're going through all of that transition. And I feel like we really relate right now because I'm having my second baby and your baby was 4. And I'm starting to freak out because I'm did I wait too long? Because that's a big gap.
Well, I'll tell you, my 4-year-old, or now she's 6. My 6-year-old and my 9-year-old fight a lot more than my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old do.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
And I do blame it on the age difference.
Yeah. So the closer in age they fight more, the more apart they don't fight as much.
No, I think opposite. I think that the more far apart they are, they fight more. And then the less apart they are, they fight less. Because right now, my 6-year-old and my 9-year-old have nothing in common. But my 4-year-old and my 6-year-old do a little bit more so.
Okay. So I'm screwed. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Just have another one. Throw another one in the mix. You'll be fine.
No, I'm done. Okay.
I'm kidding. 3 is a game changer for sure. It's crazy.
Yeah, but they say 3 is it's easier. 2 is really hard to get to, but then once you have 3 and then 4, it gets easier and easier.
Yeah, I'm not going to have a 4th one to find out any more than what I have now.
And I'm not going to have a 3rd one to find out. So
that's funny.
Well, okay. So tell me, what are you doing now? How did that transition? Because it sounds like you started in a different role and now you're in recently, right? You just got promoted to a new role.
Yeah, so I just moved to the chief marketing officer position just recently, and it's really just been the last 6 years of working my tail off to just help ensure the success of the company. And then whenever we launched Epic BDC, I moved over to the salesperson. We didn't have a salesperson prior to that. And Robin came to me and she said, "I want you to be my new national sales director." And I said, "You are crazy, woman. I've never sold anything a day in my life." And she said, "Well, it's your time. It's your turn to learn now." And so I did. And I actually really, really loved it. So I'm excited to move into this next adventure for me as chief marketing officer. I'm super excited about it. A lot of it I've been doing already. So I'm not unfamiliar by any means with the role of the position. So I'm excited for it. I think that there's a lot of opportunity on the horizon.
That's great. And so are you not going to be involved with sales at all now? You're like completely on the marketing side?
No, I am still going to be doing sales here and there. I can't give away too much information about that yet. There will be a really big announcement coming soon, but I will be involved with sales still, just maybe not so much the outreach as much as it'll probably be more like referrals and stuff like that are the ones that I'll be handling.
Oh, very good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me how just going through the whole process of the 6 years and everything that you worked your butt off to really learn. And this is another thing I feel like we relate to with each other is when I started with PartsEdge, that's what I got to do. I got to really learn our process before I got into the sales and marketing role. And I think that's the best thing to do because then you're going in with this knowledge of, how things are going and you can help execute that in like a creative sales and marketing way. So
yeah, I was really lucky that I got to come join the company whenever we were still relatively small. So we opened the doors for SCP agency. That started in 2013. And then I think I was maybe third or fourth employee that they brought on board. And then I'm the only one aside from Shasta, Robin, and Beverly that's made it this far. So I'm good. And I did get the opportunity to come in the very beginning of everything. So not only did I get to watch what they already had in motion, I also got to help put other things in motion and come up with processes and put those in place and implementing all of the things that we needed to do so that we could grow to the point where we're at now.
Yeah. What's your background? Did you have any auto experience or it's okay if you didn't. I'm just curious. So
yeah, no, I didn't actually. So I had no automotive experience whatsoever. This has taught me everything that I know, the connections that I've made in the industry. Everything has just kind of aligned just right for me to be here.
So what's your favorite part about the industry now that you've been in 6 years, a long time, I'm working on 10 years. So what's your favorite part about the industry and what you've experienced so far?
So many things. I really think that there is a lot of things that still need to evolve and change within the industry. But I think that people like you, Kaylee, and I think of Owen Moon and Fred and Lou, it's you guys that make this industry so special. It's you guys that are open arms and welcoming to people like myself that didn't have any industry knowledge. And so fun fact, whenever Robin put me in sales, soon after I went to my first digital dealer and I met Brad, Pashel, Eric Wilson, Owen Moon. And I said, and so Robin had, she had really talked Eric and Brad up to me and she was like, hey, these guys are fantastic sales guys. Like you need to talk to them. So I just pulled them aside, a digital dealer. I'm like, hey guys, you've never met me before, but I need help and I need to learn how to do this thing. So, and they didn't even ask questions. They just sat down, they chatted with me. They gave me some tips and tricks. Brad has been on a couple of different Zoom videos with me, kind of just helping me with any questions that I had, how to get my foot in the door, stuff like that. So yeah. It's people like you that make this industry so special.
Aw, I feel the same about some of the people that you've mentioned, just having that network of people that were like all working together. We're all trying to make dealerships better and our own little niche that we see, fit. And it's just, I feel that's another way I relate to you is because I didn't have any auto experience coming in too. And I'm going on 10 years and everything I've learned was through working with PartsEdge and learning through networking with people and asking questions. And it's so fun. I feel like it allows us as outsiders to not having that dealership background or experience. It gives us a whole different outlook, I think, on things. I think it broadens it. Yeah,
absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. There's times where I do think back, like Shasta. I'm telling you, that girl has brains like no other. Like I could ask her a question and she knows it like that. And we call her the Rain Man. So she and Robin have several years of dealership experience, and so there's times where they're talking, and I'm like, I wish I could just be in your brain just to know all the things that you do from the inside out. And then just come back to my own brain that doesn't know everything from the inside out and kind of weigh it together. And then I know a little bit of everything and I can have an outlook in many different ways. But I do agree with you. I think that not having that automotive experience, or not automotive experience, but dealership background, like you said, it definitely has its pros.
It does. It does. And I think, I don't know if you experienced this, but in the beginning, I would beat myself up for not having that experience, and I would feel so unconfident or not confident in my abilities because I'm like, what? I never worked there. I don't know. But it's you like, did you experience that at all, or am I crazy?
Like, I think imposter syndrome is real, and I get that. Not as much as I used to, but I still get it sometimes. And it's like, that's where it stems from, is because I haven't been in a dealership or in a general manager's or dealer principal's shoes before. And so sometimes it just makes me feel like, who am I to be the one telling you anything? But then, I mean, I know my value. I know what I know. And I'm very confident in my expertise in these areas. So I always just bring it back to that. I always just have to remind myself that a dealership background does not devalue what's in my brain.
No, not at all. Because what you've done is that you focused on like a certain area of the dealership to solve specific problems and have really focused on learning that. And you can learn that without being in their shoes, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know if I asked this already, but like a big challenge that you went through in your career, like what is something that you just like, it kind of stopped you and you had to like reassess and figure out like how to overcome? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Okay, so this is super, I don't know, probably super small, but in my head at the time it was really big. I had we'll call her a manager. I had a manager at one point. Whenever I first started with the company, I was probably not even a year in yet. And I was probably a year and a half in, because I was pregnant with my third daughter. And she had like gone above and beyond. It was, yeah, you're going to be promoted next. Like you're on your way up. They've already been talking about all the things they want to do with you, blah, 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 blah. So then it came down to it, and I didn't get the promotion that this girl had been telling me, like, you're going to get it. Like, you're going to be the new person that's doing this thing. And I'm like so excited. And then they offered it to somebody else that had come on after me. Like, I was so upset. And it was probably like, we have very open communication between the leadership team. So it was probably my first less than great conversation that I had with Robin because I was so upset. And
yeah, so me too, especially they were like, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. And then you're like,
it wasn't they. It was just this one girl in particular that I was taking her word for it. And so Robin calls me and she's like, I heard that you're really mad. And I'm like, well, I'm not happy. Like, I've been being told for the last few months that like this position coming up is going to be mine. And so Robin has a really amazing way of getting her perspective through to you. And so on that phone call, she said, Jessica, I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing this because I don't think you're worthy of this position. I'm doing this because you're pregnant with your third daughter, and your last daughter had so many complications and was in the NICU for so long, and you're about to have your third baby that you don't know what that's going to look like yet. And she said, so it's not that you're never going to get it. It's just the timing right now. And my need isn't matching where you're at in your life. And I think that was just a really big mindset issue that I had to overcome just to get where I'm at. And I know that seems so small, but that's the only thing that I can think of right now that was, I think, a stepping stone. I mean, and that was the first real hard conversation that I've had with Robin. And probably what drew me in even more to the company was that she wasn't afraid to have that conversation with me. And she wasn't afraid of how I was going to react to that conversation. And I didn't react badly. Like, after I understood the reasoning behind it, and I understood that I was on the list and I was supposed to be the next step, but it was my life situation that was the unknown factor of it, was what was holding her back from that. I 100% understood. And now that I've grown in my leadership journey and in my career, I would have made the exact same decision looking back on it.
Yeah, exactly. Because, at the time it was probably hard. I feel like for me, it would be hard to hear, like, I'd be like, so what? I'm pregnant. I can do it. Whatever.
Well, that was my mindset. And she was like, no, you don't understand. I'm not doing this because you're pregnant. I'm doing this because your last baby was in the NICU for 2 months because she had her prematurely. And I'll tell you, we'll fast forward 2 months. And I did have my third daughter prematurely, and she was in the NICU for a month and a half. And Robin was right about every bit of it. So I can't be upset about it now.
No. And it's one of those things where in life you feel like you're like, okay, this is how I want it. This is how it's going to go. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, that's not how I thought it was going to go.
And really, it worked out so well because there was no way that I could have done that and had that much responsibility on top of worrying about 2 kids at home, my husband, and now a 3rd baby in the hospital that I was having to make trips back and forth every 3 hours. So yeah, that would have been really, really hard. And I'm very, very grateful that that was not the path that was chosen for me.
Yeah, and what a supportive boss. And just, in the interactions I've had with Robin, she just seems like such an amazing person. And you just need that in your life. You need someone like a boss or someone to work for that's just like has your best interest and like shows you things that you don't normally see. So I do want to talk about just, having 2 babies in the ICU, right?
Yeah, it's neonatal intensive care unit.
Yeah. So I don't even know what I want to ask you. Like, what was that? I mean, 2, it's not even just happened once. So like, what was that experience, or how did you, because the first time it happened, you were not working with the company yet, right? That was, yeah. So, and then the second time it happened, you were working. So how did you get through it? Like, that is terrifying to go through.
Yeah. I'm unfortunately, I don't think that we have enough time in this episode to give you all that story, but I'll try. Yeah. My life from 2017 to 2021 was absolutely insane. I had my middle daughter, Kinley. So I already had a 4-year-old at home. And then I had my middle daughter, Kinley, and she was born premature. So she was in the NICU for about a month and a half, her first day. And then we got sent home and we wound up having to do CPR on her, and an ambulance came. It was really, really crazy. Whole bunch of stuff. And so then she got life flighted over to Kansas City Children's Mercy. And we're there for another 8 weeks. And then we came home, and then she had a slew of health issues after that for quite a while, and still some residual to this day. But once we got home, we were back and forth at least once a week from Joplin to Kansas City, which is, for those that don't know, it's about a 2.5-hour drive. We practically lived out of the Ronald McDonald House for months. In her first 2 years of life, she was in the hospital for a total of a year. Wow. That's how crazy it was. Yeah, it was really, really insane. And then in 2019, I had my youngest daughter, Avery, and she was also born prematurely, and she was in the NICU for about a month on a ventilator where she had a really bad infection, where the ventilator actually caused a really bad infection in her lungs. And thankfully, she was able to get out, and she didn't have any residual health issues. She thrived wonderfully. So she's definitely a handful now, but she's a fighter herself. She went through the same thing, just not as severely. And then in 2020, actually January of 2020, we found a lump on my oldest daughter and had a huge cancer scare. We were in and out of hospitals for months and months and months trying to figure out what these things are. Turned out not to be cancer. It is genetic related. But so that's kind of like the last, 2017 to 2021 when things finally started dying down. And now we're in 2023, just ready to move past it and figure out what life is like without all the hospitals and doctors and poking and prodding.
So the last years have been calm.
They have definitely been calmer. I mean, we still are yearly annual checkups, stuff like that. But for the most part, they've been a lot calmer.
Yeah. But I wrote down like the time frame, and all of this happened while you're like building your career and working and yeah. So
I have pictures upon pictures of, because my husband likes to tell me how much I work sometimes. So I've got pictures of I've got my laptop open in the car, sitting next to the baby, feeding the baby with my laptop open, heading up to Kansas City, working from hospital beds. Unless somebody was dying, it didn't stop me. If I could work, if I had the ability to work and everybody around me was, in a state of being okay at that time, I had a team that I didn't want to let down. I had an employer that I didn't want to let down, and I had myself that I wasn't going to let down. I knew the opportunity that I had in front of me, joining a company that was as small as it still was, with the potential to grow the way it has. And there was next to nothing that was going to stop that.
Yeah, I was going to say it probably was like a really good outlet to really take your mind off things.
I would have made it through those years without having this outlet. And honestly, having the support from Robin, Beverly, and Shasta behind me the entire time. I mean, I was in St. Louis with my oldest daughter for 3 days while they were running a whole bunch of tests on her. And they had a friend of theirs that lived up in St. Louis brought me like tons of like just food and clothes and snack from, and had her drop them off to me up at the hospital. I mean, it was the things that they have done to make sure that I was taken care of in those moments and that my kids were taken care of in those moments is not something that you'll find with your everyday average employer.
Not at all. And I think it's like you found your like family, your group of people that's just going to support you.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
we need that as women and just moms, because, some of us, how do I word this? It's okay to be a stay-at-home mom, but some of us want to have careers too. I don't want it to sound bad that, like stay-at-home moms are not working, like, because they are, because I think they work more than people that work. I feel like
I've done it. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom, and I've been a full-time working in the office mom too. And by far, being a stay-at-home working mom has been the hardest. I mean, not only was I trying to work and take care of kids and make sure that I wasn't dropping any balls, but at the same time, my husband would come home, and because I was home all day, in his head, and I have a really amazing husband, but in his head, what were you doing all day? You stay at home and work, and I'm like, yeah, I was working from home. Yeah. So that was really hard. And so now I get to separate that a lot more. I get to come into the office for my hours per day, and then I go home and I'm able to be a mom and I'm able to be there for my kids and be 100% attentive to them. And so I definitely am thankful for the opportunity to work in office now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I work at home full time now too, or I have been since before my child. And same thing. My husband, what did you do? It must be nice.
Like you do my job for a day. You take care of kids and try to not drop any balls for work.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, but most of the time my kid is in preschool. So I'm like, I get a little bit of a break, but I'm still like, yeah, it is nice, but I'm still working like hard.
Right.
And I don't think I would want to do your job. I'm sorry. Because he has to work in a dealership. So
how funny.
I know it is funny. I get to listen to it all. Okay, so speaking about all this stuff with like working mom, career, everything, I feel like there's another word for work-life balance, but I'm just going to use the work-life balance phrase. How you manage everything, I guess being at the office kind of helps because then you can separate things. But like, do you have like a process, a schedule? Like, how do you really like turn it off? Because it's really hard to turn work off, even if you're working in the office and coming home.
So I would love to be able to say I have mastered that. I have not. Not even.
I don't think anyone has.
I'm the mom that if I have extra stuff that I didn't complete that day for work, I'll wait till the kids go to bed and then I'll, break my laptop out and I'll finish it. Or if it's something that can't wait, of course, I'm going to just drop what I'm doing and I'm going to do whatever I need to do. But if I get a phone call, you should see, I just wish I had a camera in my house for whenever a dealer calls me, one of our clients calls me, and I'm like, everybody be quiet. Mom's got to be on the phone. I'm going outside. No fighting. You don't need me. Don't breathe. Don't move. Don't do anything. I'll be right back in 5 minutes. And so then I run out the door and then I answer my phone. Yeah. I could not trust my kid. There was one day I was on a call and I had snuck off to my bedroom. This is so bad. And my kids would not stop fighting. I'm like, this is crazy. I couldn't leave my room because then the dealer that I was on the phone with was going to hear my kids fighting like crazy. So,
and I bet you heard it in the background too. Like, still,
I don't think that he could. Like, I knew they were fighting, and I knew they were getting closer. So I opened my bedroom window and I took off my screen, and I shoved out my bedroom window on the phone with this dealer, and he had no idea. Like, I don't think he had the slightest clue what I was doing. And my husband came shortly after that looking for me because he didn't know that I had been on the phone, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Like, I had to go run away.
Yeah, I couldn't rest. The kids screaming in the background. Where I wish that I had mastered work-life balance. I haven't yet, but I hope to soon. And right now, I just do the best that I can. And I think that as a mom, that's all you can do.
Exactly. I don't think anyone's ever going to achieve it perfectly every single day. I think there's days where I'm like, okay, this was a good day. I balanced it good. And then the next day I'm like, what am I doing? I suck at this. So I think it's that phrase. I think either I saw it from you guys or something, but it was like, if you have 50% to give that day, you gave 100% because you gave all that you could give. Yeah. And that's what we got to do. Oh man, I have so many stories like that too. And I feel like when I get on the phone, my daughter will be perfectly fine. She'll be watching TV. I get on the phone and it's like,
Mom, like attention is somewhere else.
Yeah. And she has a complete meltdown if I try to do a podcast after hours. No, oh my gosh, meltdown. I'm like, just hang out with your dad. What's the problem?
Right. And in that, so my girls, all three of them are major daddy's girls, and it never fails. I'm on a phone call or I'm doing something that I need to be doing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they want mom. And I'm like, you guys don't want me any of the other 23 hours out of the day. It's always dad, 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 dad. And now
how do you get that to happen? Because she's mom all the time. She never. Oh man, fun stuff. Okay, so I feel like we've been we're going a little longer than normal, but I just have a couple more questions I want to ask you, like some of the fun questions. So, what if you could compare yourself to an animal, what animal would it be?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love asking this one. It could be different like tomorrow too. Like it just be like, what animal are you feeling like today?
A lion.
A lion. Okay. And why?
I think that whenever I get my sights set on something, I don't let off of it. Like it's going to be mine one way or the other.
Yep. That's a super lion thing. I like that. And then how would your grandma describe what you do?
Oh gosh, that's like the
worst question you could have asked.
My grandma has not the slightest clue what I do. That poor woman, she tries so hard.
She's a set of time.
Like if she's talking to one of her friends, she'll, yeah, Jess is doing really great. She's a something at a marketing agency. Like she has no clue. Like, and it didn't matter if I have explained it to her 50 times. She's still going to say, yeah, she does something at a marketing agency. She's not.
That's funny. I love asking that question. And then lastly, what's your daily driver? Like, because we're in the car business, I gotta ask you, like, what do you drive? Or do you have like a favorite car that you just love so much, a dream car?
Yeah, so right now I drive a Kia Cadenza, and I do love it. I like it a lot. But ideally, I would be in a white on black Chevy Tahoe Z71. That is like my dream car. I will probably get it within the next 2 years. It's happening one way or the other.
You are getting it. I see those and they're like, okay, they're not a mom car, but they're the coolest mom car. Right. Like they're better than a van.
Yes.
And they look so cool.
I'm not a van mom. You probably won't ever catch me dead in a van.
Oh, I will never drive a van. I'm squeezing both kids in my Bronco. Okay, and then I want to lastly give a shout out to what you guys are doing now with your podcast. So give a shout out. What's the name of your podcast? What are you guys doing with it?
Well, as you can tell behind me, we are the Chicks in Charge, and Shasta and I launched this because we really wanted to give women a voice in the industry. But not only that, we wanted to show that the up and coming generation in the automotive industry is worth listening to and worth your time. And that we have a lot of knowledge and a lot of expertise that everybody can use and feed off of. And so we're really, really excited about just making connections, networking, talking to other people. And that in no way, shape, or form means that we are excluding men. Absolutely not. Men are welcome. They're more than welcome. They are encouraged. But we knew that something was needed for the younger women in the automotive industry. And we were hoping that by doing this, we would give other women the confidence to use their voice as well.
I really love that. And I think what you guys have set up, you're going to bring so many people on the podcast, not even people that no one's going to even know about, people that are coming into the industry just wanting to talk. And I think it's going to open so many doors. And I just love the brand you guys have created with it. Like, just, I want a t-shirt. So
I know. Well, I guess I did kind of do the shameless plug the other night on your podcast or yesterday with Shasta. As soon as she started talking about it, I'm like, show them the design, because I'm so proud of it. I love it so much. I'm excited for them to be done. So we'll definitely
I can't wait. And when are they going to be done? In a month or so? Close?
I don't know yet. We were working on finalizing the order yesterday. So we're still kind of in the works with everything, making sure that everything's going to turn out the way we want it to. And then I'll have an ETA soon.
Cool. That's exciting. And then lastly, how can people get a hold of you? I'm assuming LinkedIn is probably the best, or Facebook.
Yeah, definitely LinkedIn or Facebook. I'll put my phone number out there. It's 417-291-8512. And I do have Instagram. I'm just not on it very often. So LinkedIn or Facebook are your best bet.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Kaylee. It was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. PartsEdge, the power tool for your parts department. We hope you're leaving feeling motivated, challenged, and inspired.